The summer wind, the summer wind, warm summer wind, oh, the summer wind. Good evening, Wastelanders! This is DJ Pony coming to you live on this beautiful winter night. This evening is a very special occasion, a tradition that goes back literally centuries. Our current theory is that this is the 207th annual 10 Pony Tower Winter Solstice Ball. Now, quite a few of those years were skipped, especially after the war, and there is a chance that we might have the start date wrong, but nonetheless, this gala has a lot of history. In the good old days, before the war, old Mr. Ten Pony loved nothing more than lighting up his tower with every ornamentation he could find. It's a glimmering fire from the past that we've been kindling more and more in recent years. This year, the ballroom is especially beautiful. Freshly tiled floors, new curtains weaved for the stage, fresh varnish and patches for the wood, a variety of different centerpieces, tablecloths, wine glasses, a fully remodeled chandelier, and an incredible selection of tuxedos and gowns for our residents to choose from. All of these thanks to the only pony who could bring this kind of regency back to the evening. I wish he could be here tonight, but our beloved Duchess Rosepetal has returned to the Foggy Isles. Family is so very important this time of year. Anyway, I'm still here to be your master of ceremonies for the evening. I apologize that I could not be down there myself, but Homage doesn't feel like dancing right now, and someone needs to keep her company. And not just her, but all the rest of you as well, because we're broadcasting this party to every last corner of the wasteland that my voice can reach. All of us here in DJ Pony Studios wish you a very happy hearthswarming and midwinter too. Now, while everyone's finding their seats for the evening, we're going to start off with the perfect old-fashioned instrumental to get you in the spirit, while I go searching for a bottle of spirits myself. That's beautiful. That's just what I needed. Whoops, sorry, I'm not talking about the song, although that was fantastic too. I found myself a bottle of Kinski brand absinthe. That smells heavenly, and it looks just like liquid peridot. This is just the kind of good tidings and cheer that I'll need for the evening. Ah, that's good. To start your night off right, be sure to stop by the bar in the northeast corner of the ballroom for some fresh liquid courage to wet your lips. If I'm right, Blanche should be the one working this evening. She's the tall white mare with soft golden mane, probably wearing a silk red gown and a smile that will weaken the knees of even the most charismatic of prospectors. Now, let me see if I can remember all the varieties we have tonight, before the absinthe washes them away. Plus, I know that if I get them wrong, she might cut me off. We have Green Orchard cider, Red Velvet wine, which is the red variety, obviously. If you prefer white, we have Celestia's Select, Griffin Country vodka, Honey Lake mead, if you want something sweet but still a little rustic. We have schnapps made with apples and pears, which is a perfect flavor combination. Plain old draft horse ale if you want to start with a beer. Rose whiskey, oak root brandy, glorious gin. Or if you're in an ethnic mood, we have Dos Burros tequila, Hidden Stripes rum, and Sable Spirit sake. And of course, the Kinski brand absinthe. Hopefully I got all of that right, Blanche. Thank you for doing your part smoothing out all the social interactions for the evening. And for all of you down there in the ballroom, you better tip her well. Because it's a crime that that ass isn't on the dance floor. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Every pony so cheery and loved ones you dearly are glad to be here. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the happiest season of all. All the norms and traditions and holiday dishes from wall to wall. It's the happiest season of all. Every hearth will be warming, the young ones performing those old tales from so long ago. When the winter came storming and windigo swarming till love pushed them back with a glow. It's the most wonderful time of the year. All the carols and stories, ghostly allegories that we can endear. It's the most wonderful time of the year. There'll be parties for hosting and pudding exploding and much playing out in the snow. The gifts may be plenty, but best one there can be is warmth with the ones that you know. It's the most wonderful time of the year. There'll be so much for sharing with friends who'd be otherwise bearing alone. It's the most wonderful time. Yes, the most wonderful time. Oh, the most wonderful time of the year. Ah, I always loved that song. There's so much that can be wonderful about the season. Midwinter solstice bringing about a new year, a fresh start for everyone. Sometimes we need that fresh start, after a bit of time to forget. For those who never knew, heartwarming borrows a lot of traditions from old reindeer culture. Far to the north of here, in distant Nordenhoof, the small but stubborn reindeer herd kept to their ancient culture for thousands of years. Wintertime meant the death of the sun. It had to die, disappearing behind the storms for a new world to begin. That's what it takes sometimes. It's said that the pre-equestrian unicorn kingdom were the first ones to travel far enough north to bump into the reindeer. Then, as time passed and the heartwarming tale became a foundational part of our shared history, Princess Platinum helped incorporate many of those midwinter traditions into our own holiday. It's a beautiful history about how many creatures from so many different places can bring parts of themselves to the table to make one beautiful cornucopia. So think about all those good parts this winter, while cozying up indoors by a fire. It's beginning to look a lot like winter. Everywhere you go, it's that heartwarming time again. Hang holly up in your den, with tree brought in and candles all aglow. It's beginning to look a lot like winter. Toys in every store, but the prettiest sight to see is that you for every me at your own front door. A pair of giddy-up pals and a place to corral all the friends come over to play. Games that are new and the classic ones too that'll fill the nights and the days, while parents spend the time alone enjoying how they may. It's beginning to look a lot like winter. Everywhere you go, there's a tree in the castle keep. It's much too hard to sleep, with all the festive ways to play out in the snow. It's beginning to look a lot like winter. Soon the show will start. All the history and meaning, plus the carols that will ring right within your heart. It's beginning to look a lot like winter. Everywhere you go, it's that heartwarming time again. Hang holly up in your den, with tree brought in and candles all aglow. It's beginning to look a lot like winter. Toys in every store, but the prettiest sight to see is that you for every me at your own front door. Yes, it's winter once more. Boy, it is really starting to snow out there, isn't it? Cold winds blowing down from the north, icicles reaching down from every archway. Hopefully all of you listening out there are somewhere comfortable. Of course, one of the best ways to warm up is snuggled close to a special someone, but don't snuggle too closely. We still have a lot of evening left. It's not about rushing to the end as quickly as possible. It's about the journey. Hopefully tonight is everything you could hope for in a winter solstice. Almost everything. You know, back in the old days, they would go all out to celebrate the start of the season because the ponies were the ones to kick off winter of their own accord. This was especially true for the Pegasi. Remember them? They're just like you and me, but they have a set of folded up quill factories at each side. I know there are a few of you still out there, one bubbly ghoul of a Pegasus in particular. The winter solstice was their way to kick off the season, keep the mighty wheel of time turning in a comfortable rhythm for the earth ponies, unicorns, and every other creature out there in Equestria. We don't quite have that kind of rhythm anymore, but we still have the music, and that's almost as good.
Now the nights are growing longer,
and the harvest times are over.
the northern winds start to blow. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
The snowflakes are ready for dropping,
'Cause the winter time's come a-trotting. There's joy everywhere you go. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. When the ground becomes soft and wide,
Willies play outside in the cold,
while the fires are warm and dry, gathered hearts shine with a glow.
so join in on the singing,
And enjoy the feast we're bringing. We'll scare off those windigos. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. With your friends standing by your side,
that special some pony squeezing in close.
on this most wonderful of nights, the winter begins with delight. Now don't you be denying, though the winter's cold is tiring, together our love will show. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Ah, that's great. Everyone better be on your second drink, or rather, halfway down the bottle. And if you're not, you better be walking a bag of caps over to Blanche right now. That sweetheart is slaving over a fully stocked shelf while you dance the night away. No, I'm just kidding. She'll probably have a better night than all of us floating a comically giant bag of money back up to her suite. I'm not sure what lucky stallion, or mare, she's seeing, but they better be okay with sleeping on a giant pile of money. I'm sorry. I've probably embarrassed her enough already. But she's a big girl, she probably likes it. Who else can I pick on? Oh, I know. I know the bar has some delicious little hors d'oeuvre trays, but don't fill up on the appetizers. The dinners will be out soon. Don't worry about Monterey Jack, he's contributed plenty to the main course. His feelings won't be hurt over a few cheese squares getting left over. Those foals of his will have the plates clean before bedtime anyway. But if he ever wants to make some real money, some Orig cheese would definitely please. For our next song, we have a particularly prescient number about our lovely post-apocalyptia. Listening to something like this, you might almost believe they wanted to live in a nuclear winter wonderland.
A nuclear winter wonderland, oh, it's quite a sight to see. The blinding flash and searing heat blowing over boiling seas. A nuclear winter wonderland, let the air raid sirens ring. We'll wave old Mr. Sun goodbye from the stable as we sing. Even though the world looks like it's ending, have a so smile. Pinky knows when you're not jolly, so pop another mental as we're rocking around the balefire bomb like a heart swarming of old. Everyone's dancing merrily in the glowing ash and snow. That warm, tingly feeling deep inside. Radiation warps your body, makes you something new and exciting. A nuclear winter wonderland, though the friendship stays the same. As long as I have you by my side, I will live another day. Ow!
Ah, I love that ending. A lot of creatures out there think this is a depressing song, but I think it's got a good ending. No matter how life plays out, as long as you've got your friends by your side, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna make it. How can you not believe that? It's better than believing the opposite. Did you know absinthe used to be called the Green Breezy? Legend has it that if you drink enough of it, you'll start seeing the little green creatures floating by in the breeze around you. I must not be there yet. I've seen a lot of green recently, though. Even after Rose Petal left with her soft green coat, she left behind an orchard of colorful green gowns that are adorning the beautiful mares of the dance floor tonight. They come in jade, mint, evergreen, forest, seafoam, emerald, aqua, and even a shade as bright as balefire. Sweetie Belle herself, who's featured on many of tonight's songs, was very fond of green. She'd wear green eyeshadow to complement her irises, and other accessories usually matched as well. So to all the fellows out there, if you haven't complimented your lady friend on how her outfit matches her eyes, then you better be sure to slip that in at some point. That one wasn't intentional. Seriously though, you don't want her to run off on you. Treat her like the jingle bell that she is.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing with the jingle bell king.
The cold winds are coming to ruin our fun.
Time to cut loose, leave your ties undone. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells chime as they're dancing in time.
Hopping and bopping from wall to wall.
At the castle ball, in the bright lights and the grand heights, we'll rock the night away. A jingle bell time is a swell time to go riding in a two-horse sleigh.
Giddy up, jingle bucks, feel the beat.
Jingle around the clock. Swing to the rhythm in the dazzling street. That's the Jingle Bell Rock. sway. A jingle bell time is a lifetime of waltzing in a love ballet. Giddy up, buttercup, staying so sweet, leaving my heart to knock.
Moving and grooving in the festive heat.
That's the Jingle Bell Rock. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing till the 12 o'clock ring. Storm clouds are roaring and blocking the sun. Break out the fire and the chestnut rum. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells chime for love and its pride.
Holding them close when the music is slow.
In the falling snow, as we lock eyes and our hearts rise to carry us away. A jingle bell time is a fast climb up past heaven from a world of gray. Hurry up, jingle bugs, don't be scared.
Tell them how great they are.
Nothing rings true like a love that's shared. That's the jingle bell, that's the jingle bell, that's the jingle bell rock.
Now, I try not to pick any favorite songs. As a simple disc jockey, you don't want to hear me playing one song a disproportionately high number of times, especially if you don't like that song. But I think Jingle Bell Rock is one of my favorites, especially this time of year. In my opinion, it's one of the best duets of Baritone and Sweetie Belle. One thing we know for sure about the old days is that it was one of Mr. Tenpony's favorites too. It was usually featured prominently during the Winter Solstice Ball. One of the first times the duo performed that song was right there on that stage. And they also performed it at the last ball, right before the Great War ended. Too bad we'll never get the chance to hear them perform it live again. We're pretty sure Sweetie Belle ended up in a stable somewhere, especially considering how high up she was at Stable Tech. Baritone we don't know though. Maybe he's wandering around out there as a ghoul in a fancy tuxedo. Boy, that'd be quite the sight, wouldn't it? To have a ghoul show up to Tenpony Tower right under their noses and star in some onstage performance. I'm just kidding. Trust me, I've got no guests left. Well, how about one more sultry number to stare at each other's tailside with? This one isn't particularly a holiday song, but it sure seems to come up a lot in the rotation, and I'd be shocked to find someone who wouldn't want to hear it.
Some of you got the time. I've been watching you since the moment you arrived. A beau from Manhattan with Canterlot bling. Think that you can handle some valley swing. What is that sweet aroma that fills the air? A scent I would breathe in most anywhere. It's drawing me in and pulling me to you. And every thought I have turns the language blue. All at once it's like the sky fell down, leaving us alone in this crazy town. So hold me close and leave your worries be, for one last dance of just you and me. Just you and me. To play hard to get. I'm here to kiss away any thoughts of regret. A silk dress, red lipstick, and emerald eyes. and just a bit of blush to help tantalize. But underneath your coolness and casual game, a passion burns deep like a seductive flame. It's drawing me in magnetically to you. You haven't got forever, but I got that too. All at once, it's like the sky fell down, leaving us alone in this crazy town. So hold me close and leave your worries be, for one last dance of just you and me. Just you and me. Forget your worries, forget your worries, and just hold me. Like the smoke on your fire, smoldering endless desire. How long will your flame burn? All at once, it's like the sky fell down, leaving us alone in this crazy town. So hold me close and leave your worries be, for one last dance of just you and me. All at once, it's like the sky fell down, leaving us alone in this crazy town. So hold me close and leave your worries be, for one last dance of just you and me.
One last dance indeed. You're welcome to keep dancing if you want, but for everyone else, dinner is served. We had 3 options to select from when you ordered your tickets, so make sure you have the number right. Our first entree is the mushroom risotto with parsley and Parmesan cheese. Thank you, Monterey Jack. There's also garlic in there, so if we do have any bat ponies in the audience, please be careful of that. Our second entree is the zucchini noodles with cilantro and diced squash. There's no garlic in there, but there is vinegar, so keep it away from any member of your family that acts like Snowball Frost around this season. They're sour enough as it is. And the last thing we need is any more ghosts haunting this place. And finally, our third entree is sweet potato pierogies, because you can't have a holiday meal without deep frying something, am I right? Trust me, they're delicious. I can personally confirm. Along with the bread and appetizers, all 3 meals come with a spicy tomato bisque with diced onions and peppers. Thank you to Brandywine for stirring all that up for us. So have a seat, eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die. Unless, of course, you got yourself a golden ticket to a patented Stable-Tech stable.
Talk of doomsday getting you down. I'm here to tell you that there's nothing to worry about, thanks to Stable-Tech. Sirens ring, you can hear them, but there's no need to fear them. It'll all be alright, just come on inside, living in a stable underground. Gone away are the worries, just ignore ash and flurries. We'll all sing a song as we hurry along, living in a stable underground. Each and every family gets their own room, and you'll have new neighbors left and right. You might even find that special someone to make your heart flutter day and night. Later on, we'll be dancing as the time keeps on prancing. Just a short way till we finish our stay, living in a stable underground. wines good and plenty, an orchard of apples fresh and ripe. You can take 5 or 10 or 20 to sample more than one of every type. Things'll change, we might miss them, but inside we'll be Wasteland, a beautiful sight with a door that just shines, living in a stable underground. We'll be living in a stable underground. We'll be living in a stable underground. Living in a stable underground.
Well, Homage has finished her meal and is turned in for the evening, so I'm back to hearing only the sound of my own voice. Hellish, I know, but she was tired. Hopefully most of you will be getting more enjoyment out of your beds tonight. Although a nice long sleep does sound pretty enjoyable right now. You know, back in the old days, for most of the old days, Princess Celestia was the one going to sleep on her own each night. Princess Luna had been swallowed up by the darkness, forcing Celestia to banish her own little sister to the moon. It was better than the alternative. But this isn't Nightmare Night. You all know the before and after events. I'm talking about every night in the middle. Every night for 1,000 years that Celestia would lower the sun and feel that loneliness of her sister not being there. It had been Luna's job to raise the moon, and now Celestia had to do it. Not only that, but as it would arc upwards into the sky, she would see the shadowy face that corrupted her sister's soul, knowing that Luna was still trapped there in some far distant place. But at least that tale had a happy ending. For a while. I guess it just depends on where you stop the story. Regardless, for all those going to bed or are staying up alone, here's a little lullaby to caress you.
Silent night, peaceful night, all's forgiven, blessed sight, meek young princess, sister, born once more, the darkness clear. Sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep in heavenly peace.
Time for another absinthe. I'm still not seeing any of the damn green breezies. It's funny how many legends and stories revolve around the holidays. It's almost like a chicken and egg question. Did the holiday start because of the legend, or did the legend start because of the holiday? In some cases, a holiday legend might have started out with a single bedtime story told to a single little filly who wouldn't go to sleep. And that story would spread until the minds and hearts of all the school children of that village believed that same story. Then some years later, that story would pass on to each of their children. And so the annals of history go. It might seem strange to think of a story like that, but that's all oral tradition is. It's the tales we tell ourselves and each other, a shared memory. And that too can transform and grow over time. Perhaps one legend came from a single act of generosity, a mayor from ages ago who would bring candies and sweets to young ones as holiday gifts, especially those who had no parents or anyone else to bring them gifts like that. Even if that didn't become a trend and she only did it a few years, a few centuries later her humble good nature might have transformed her into a mythical being, some living manifestation of winter, bringing joy and laughter despite the snow and the cold. And perhaps one day, they might even have written a song about her.
Christmas Crystal, the snow mare, was a happy, joyful friend. She had bright blue eyes and a wavy tail and a mane with frosted ends. Crystal, the snow mare, isn't real, or so they say. She was once a mare who used to care for fillies of her day. They say she loves them dearly, so when it gets cold each year, she comes to lift their spirits high and spread a little cheer.
Yeah!
Crystal, the snow mare, oh, wherever could she be? Will she bring some treats for the foals she meets on the day of hearts warming? Cloppity, clop, clop, cloppity, clop, clop, where did Crystal go? Cloppity, clop, clop, cloppity, clop, clop, galloping through the snow. Crystal, the snow mare, if only she could stay, saying,
"It's been fun, but I've gotta run," as they wrap up winter days.
Dashing away now, leaving frigid hoofprints here. You can hear her shout so that there's no doubt
I'll come back again next year.
They chased her through the village, trying just to get a glance. They all realized with wondering eyes as she slowed down to a prance that Crystal, the snow mare, is as real as she could be. So they said goodbye as she gave a cry.
See you next hearts warming.
It's funny to think that the modern retellings of that legend might mention that her eyes glowed because she would bring the treats to all the little children, including the ghouls. She can bring candy for foals and rat away for the parents. But that's how stories go. Sometimes they need to be retold to fit the context of the time. Holidays have always been important to various cultures, so it's no surprise they would live on and evolve no matter the circumstances. Although not everyone takes to reinventing holidays the same way. Between the glimmering bastions of civilization out there, quite a few raider clans have come up with their own unique holiday traditions. And one particularly troublesome one this time of year is the full moon closest to the winter solstice. I know some of you are thinking, how would they know it's a full moon? Well, the cloud barrier can actually get dispersed in different pockets on occasion, especially due to weather. A strong wind or a lightning storm or some other anomaly might tear open a particularly peaceful chunk of sky. Plus, there's occasionally one or two raiders who actually do know how to read, and some copies of the Old Celestia's Almanac actually record phases of the moon for several centuries into the future. So unfortunately, certain groups of raiders do figure it out, and on that full moon closest to the solstice, they will go absolutely crazy. Apparently it comes from some old legend that the moon brings out the beast in you. Ugh, that's the last thing any of us need. But nonetheless, you must be very careful traveling through raider territories this time of year, because they can get very festive. If you don't believe me, they've even written songs about it, and one ex-raider in particular, not Battered Blade, was kind enough to record one for us. So watch yourselves out there, because the raiders' favorite holiday decoration is you.
Deck the halls with guns and ammo, like a rifle, pistol, cambo. Don your backs with belt-fed saddle, 4 grenades for every battle. See the blazing ruins before us, burning from our napalm chorus. Kill a ghoul with something bigger, rocket launcher, pull the trigger. See some rivals come approaching, thinking that we're ripe for poaching. Toss their corpses in a pile, take their heads and cut some smiles. Veil for plasma jubilation, that's what I call celebration. Sing along, oh raid choir, plunder to your heart's desire.
Aren't they just charming? Makes you wonder what other groups have their own holiday traditions. For instance, maybe certain factions of the Steel Rangers really make use of their energy weapons to play up the color scheme, green plasma and red lasers. That's what I would do if I were armed to the teeth like that. You could even stack them, a red laser on top and a ball of green plasma following right below it. Nothing says heartwarming like setting a raider on fire before they get broken down into a puddle of green goo. For the average Wastelander, maybe you have your own holiday traditions. Perhaps you live near some evergreens and are very fond of cutting one down to decorate. Perhaps you like playing in the snow or just simple things like trading gifts and being close to one another. Some of you out there might be without any one or any traditions at all. And to them, if they're still listening, I hope you know how much I understand. It's not wrong to long for the old days sometimes, because it's only during times like that where you remember why those old days were so wonderful to begin with, and you do your best to recreate them or something new to replace them. It isn't just a feeling for all of us topside and post-apocalyptia. Many of those who were saved from the balefire in the stables felt the same way. They did what they could to kindle those traditions in their own little ways, despite their own unique problems. And luckily, thanks to a stable dweller who surfaced and heard this station, we even have a song written by someone just after the war, which we were able to record and master for all to hear, bringing yet another piece of our shared history to the table.
I'm dreaming of a white winter, just like the ones I used to know, when the golden years persisted, the seasons existed, and we made angels in the snow. I'm dreaming of those green forests that weren't these tacit walls of gray. May your
So you see, the grass wasn't greener for those who got into those stables. In fact, in most cases, there wasn't any grass at all, and both sides were glowing green enough as it was. There are desserts available now at the bar for those interested, either a slice of cherry cheesecake or a chocolate torte. Bring your dinner number to Blanche and she'll cut you a slice. Thank you again to all of our staff for what you've done this evening, to all the chefs, hosts, and even the medical staff who may or may not have had to treat someone for drinking a bit too much. Surprisingly, that pony wasn't me. You may also take your dessert with you at the end of the night if you're full for now. We're going to wrap up this evening with a few slow songs. If you or your partner want to have one last serenade against the blizzard backdrop, now's your chance. We'll throw some extra wood on the fire. You might notice the second voice on the song is not Sweetie Belle. She was actually a pre-war singer named Vermilion Breeze. She was an up-and-coming starlet, but did not have so many friends in high places. But she had her voice, and a voice as soft and angelic like that was able to take her to those high places regardless. Rumor has it, Baritone was actually very fond of her. Unfortunately, she did not see the end of the war. But we have one of their most beloved duets to carry on her memory anyway.
Marshmallows roasting on an open fire.
Windigos nipping at your nose.
Ponies gathered, caroling as a choir.
Snow ponies everywhere you go.
Cold hearts melting down and warming them inside their souls.
Lifting those who need it so.
Phillies' heads filled with stories of old.
We'll dream under the candles' glow.
They know that Pinky's on her way.
She's loaded lots of pies and cupcakes on her sleigh.
Every colt and filly is gonna see
just what new surprises that she will bring.
And so we're offering one simple phrase for stallions and mares of every age. Each time it's said, it still holds true every year. Happy hearts warming to you. And so we're offering one simple phrase for stallions and mares of every age. Each time it's said, it still holds true every year. Happy hearts warming to you.
What an unfortunate loss that we did not get more songs from the two of them. Can never be sure what the future holds. but being together is what matters. Hopefully you have a wonderful end to your evening, whatever you're doing. Hopefully this winter solstice means a bright new future ahead, although we have quite a few more weeks of darkness until then. Once more, I'd like to thank Duchess Rosepetal for everything she did to make this evening as gallant as it could be. I wish you could have been here. Whether you have someone right now or not, cherish those in your life, for they're gone. Wherever you are, from Manchester to the Valley of Fire, from Canterlot to Dusselhoof, from Philadelphia to Hartfield, we here at DJ Pony Studios wish you a very merry midwinter. And to everyone downstairs, we hope you've enjoyed the 207th annual 10 Pony Tower Winter Solstice Ball. And finally, to all of you out there, as far as my voice can reach and beyond, have yourself a very happy hearthwarming.
Have yourself a happy hearthwarming. May your love shine bright. Living like our troubles are far from sight. Have yourself a happy hearthwarming, and midwinter too. Although war means nothing when there's me and you. Here we are as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Happy friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more. Through the years we still will be together, if the fates allow. Neither sun nor moon could separate us now. And have yourself a happy hearthwarming eve. Here we are as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more. Through the years we still will be together, if the fates allow. Neither sun nor moon could separate us now. And have yourself a happy hearthwarming eve. And have yourself a happy hearthwarming.